Okay, this is day 1 in sketching up the Vancouver Law Court building. This is an enormous building. If I can squeeze this in 2 weeks, that would be great. But there are simply too much details to go through in this giant building. This is the model grab from the Google Earth. And I roughly block out the outline of various features. I'm not only working on the building, but the request is also half of the park area on the other side of the road. So blocking out some of the outline feature for later references. Usually the model or measurement from Google Earth model are slightly smaller. So you need to double check. Search for some information about the building. In this case, the building are said to be 42 meter high. The glass roof is 128 meter width. And then we got a bunch of floor plans from the internet. Unfortunately, none of them have dimension on them. So I have to try to guess the dimension of this thing, scaling them roughly match with the Google Earth model. So after finding out roughly the scale of the floor plan, first thing I will start doing is drawing the column. The wall, the staircase, the floor, everything are attached to the column. So we'll start with that first. Right now I'm adding some staircase. There are several flights of staircase to the upper side. After I'm done with the staircase, I'm going to start adding the roof truss. Okay, this is end of day 1. This is about 5 hours into working the draft. Anyway, we have the superstructure of the building. We also have the floor level draft out. The green parts are the planters. The main staircase for the entrance door. And then we also have the roof truss roughly positioned. We are not concerned with the details right now because we simply want the outline for each of the structure elements. We fill in the details later in the workflow. Alright, this is end of day 2. After about 10 hours of additional work on the draft model, now we have the roof up. The steel frame is done. Not all of the steel frame are modeled. That will result in enormous amount of polygons. So some of them are just mere texture. The pink and green part are just represented by texture. Still, it is a lot of polygon. Maybe around 10,000 just for the roof. Don't worry about the color. They are just painted like that so I can see what is what when I'm working with the model. So the balcony is mostly there for both sides, as well as the rear side of the building. The black area will be windows. The one problem with this building is that it is sitting on a slope on all sides. So some adjustment need to be made. This area is higher than the rear side, slope down. So some adjustment need to be made. This is my current thinking in how I'm going to adjust the staircase at the front. So we still have the driveway going in from this area. It's looking okay for now. We don't need to add a lot of details in the inside because you will barely able to see inside of it. Alright, this is end of day 3. After another 5 or 6 hours. Okay, what has been done today? I blocked out a little bit of the overpass bridge. Made the staircase. Still a lot of details we need to do for this half of the area. As for the buildings, working out some details for the planters or the edges. Added the door as well as some supporting element for the glass. These are the supporting metal for the glass. Nobody really care about these details, but well, I just add them so this thing looks more logic. It's not like costing a lot of poly count anyway. These are just some simple blocks. Adding a bit more details to the whole thing. Then fix the roof. There was a mistake with the roof before, now it is corrected. This is the correct looks for this area. Tomorrow I need to continue to detail out this park area across the road. Okay, this is day 4. After a bit of work in the afternoon, roughly finished drafting the park area. Corrected the staircase. These two staircases are actually the same size and dimension. And then we have a little bit of drafting out the bottom side of the park. The park is a elevated structure. And this area, I think the gap is a little bit too wide. Maybe need to push this in by another 2 or 3 meters. That's the correction I need to do later. Also, there are seriously large amount of planters. Currently, each of these planters are unique item, which will be very time consuming in doing the texture. It will be pretty stupid to texture this thing one by one, so I need to turn this thing into modules. Also need to turn the pillar into modules. And I need to find more photograph to detail this elevated part surface. yeah, a lot of cleanup work to do in the next few days before we're ready to texture this thing.